Like, welcome to behind the PNG, Vanity. What are you wearing? Like something like that. I don't know. There's something awkward.
Uh, uh,
Please
IRL.
describe in full detail.
I have my Kagome hoodie on right now.
Hmm.
It's like a green tie-dye
You don't have to
Kagome.
do this. This is a
Okay.
bit. You know,
Oh, sorry.
so, I don't. I
Well, I thought
don't.
it's like,
I.
when they're testing audio and they say, "What'd you have for breakfast?" Maybe it's your version of that. I don't
Ah, yeah. No, it's not.
know.
I don't have like. I don't just bring people on. Like, hello, person. What are you wearing?
When you put it like that.
What, what, hopefully it's nothing. Haha, like what the fuck is this? Not that kind of interview. Yeah, hello, Vanity. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
It's the morning hours, so I'm still waking up. Uh, you ready for behind the PNG and talking about yourself a little bit, even though you said you don't like talking about yourself?
No, I specifically told you I'm not good at it.
Oh, you're not good. Oh, you like talking about yourself. You're just not good at.
I,
You
I don't
had.
feel
Uh,
any type of way about it. I don't, it's hard. I don't know. I don't even like to pick like favorite things. Like if you said, what's your favorite food? I would panic and have to think about what I've been eating in the last week.
That's like a hard, like I don't know. Favorite food's a hard one though. That's like saying, well, what's your favorite song? It's like what? There's like
Yeah,
80
I
billion
can't do
songs.
that. Right.
I can do movies because I think movies a little more broad. I can't do
That's,
songs. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of. I haven't listened to a lot of music in my life, but songs. They're like, say you listen to an album or whatever. Like there could be like
and
20
it also
tracks on the
depends like,
album.
yeah, what's your vibe that week, you know? This answer might change and what if that person holds you to it forever?
Yeah, it's on recording now. You like this
Yeah.
song, and if Kanye changes his views when he's 45.
Oh man, no, he's mentally ill.
Dude, I love
He's mentally
Kanye.
ill.
Like not his like politics, obviously, but his meat. I grew up with it. Like a lot of he
Yeah,
has
no,
so
he's
like,
definitely a musical talent. I think the whole situation's sad because like we know he has struggles with mental illness
and he
and
goes through these bouts a lot.
yeah, and it just seems like there's probably nobody that he's close enough to right now to rein him in, right?
Yeah,
Or at least you would hope that somebody that loves him would do that for him.
that's why I never thought the whole Kardashian thing like they weren't right for each other. It's just two
Well, no, you
mega
know what made
stars, I think. Kind
well, he had like a thing for her for a very long time. He would like tell her that he had a crush on her and they were friends. She friend zoned him for like ever and a day. And then
fucked.
they eventually got together. Yeah.
And then she left
Sorry.
him.
I used to Graduation was one of my favorite albums
That
growing
I
up.
was gonna say that. I was gonna say the meme. That's what was floating around everywhere after he went on Alex Jones or whatever the fuck it was. He was like, man, Kanye said all that shit, but he made graduation though.
Like I just it's sad and but
That
you
was my
also
first
he
Kanye album
struggles with
too. Yeah.
he struggles with mental illness and stuff and he's been very honest about the fact that his headspace hasn't been the same since his mom died because she
Oh
died
yeah.
from complications of a surgery that he paid for.
Oh yeah.
So like bro, I can't even imagine being a mentally stable person
And then the
and
divorce too. Like whatever you think
yeah,
about their relationship. I mean, he's still going
right.
through a divorce with somebody, and then it's all because
Mhm.
you're Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. It's
It's
everywhere,
yeah, that's next
So,
level. I don't know. I have sympathy for that because obviously mental illness that's scary stuff.
but also don't like
Hmm.
those Nazis.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Don't
Listen,
like those Nazis.
that goes without saying. I would think. I mean, my hair is blue. I'm sitting here in this chair. Me and Nazis don't have much in common.
You would think, probably.
I would just think at face value
Uh,
that.
I do not have blue eyes. Sorry, Nazi fans. Actually,
I'm
not
like,
sorry. Fuck you.
yeah, no, absolutely. Not sorry at all.
Find some other eyes. They're not mine. I didn't think we were gonna be talking about Nazis to start, but fuck it.
You took us here, man. This show's
What?
wild.
Well, no,
What's
I did. I
next?
said like, "What's your favorite music?" And I was like, "Oh man, I feel sad about Kanye," and then it spiraled. I mean, I grew
Well,
up. I mean, I grew up with Kanye. Like he was like what got me, and like I think it was a
I feel
lot of
like most
people's
people did.
intro. Like,
He's made music in like what, 6 different genres at this point. Like
what, dude,
he's
808s,
an
dude. Everybody hated that when it first came out. 808 slaps, and everybody's like, "Oh, I love 808s now." No, you didn't. I remember when it came out. Everybody fucking hated that. It was
right. He's
fucking
always been
panned.
an artist, and he's always kind of had his hands in the scene a little bit.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
So I feel like there's nobody on the planet who probably hasn't heard a Kanye song at some point in their life at this point, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Even just a feature in like one of like he's been with Eminem, Jay Z, Drake,
Right.
all of them, Lil Wayne. Like if you listen to any
He
of them at
was
some
he was
point, dude.
making beats even before he
Oh yeah, yeah,
was
for
around.
Jay. Yeah, he was doing beats
Yeah.
for Jay. That's how he. Yeah, because he's always been better at the production side than the rapping side. I'm gonna be honest. His rapping is sometimes pretty not great, but his production's always really good. Kid Cudi too. Weird
Yeah.
Kid Cudi stuff. This is the Kanye episode. Now. This is behind the
I don't know
Kanye.
how this
This is
happens.
behind. This is behind the Kanye. What's the, what's that? What's that old VH1 show where it was like behind, or the record show or whatever? It was like behind the record or whatever, and they would like feature somebody. What this is now. We're just talking about Kanye.
Yeah. That's why you brought me here, I thought. I'm sorry.
No, the Kanye cast before 2022, pre 2022. We don't acknowledge the last 2 years.
No.
This is the official Kanye podcast right now. We do not
Yeah.
we do not condone, and neither should any other Kanye
No.
fan.
I just wishing the best for absolutely everybody. Right?
True.
An egalitarian society, everybody's equal, all good things.
We'll say though that SNL stint was still pretty fire from back in the. Dude, that was legendary. Dude, we're just talking about Kanye now. Fuck it. Fuck it. Like
I
when
don't
he
think
went,
I,
when he
I
went
haven't
on, when
seen
he
him on SNL.
no, when he did
I
like
didn't
him
see
and Mike
him.
Myers were sitting there doing the relief fund. I think it was for Katrina or whatever, right?
Oh
And he
yeah,
said
that,
George Bush did
yes.
not care about black people, and it was like,
Uh-huh.
and Mike Myers was like, "Oh shit," like
Uh
next to him,
yeah.
he's like, "Oh no." I mean, I don't entirely disagree. I, I,
But
it,
how do we address that in the
yeah, it's like
moment?
legendary.
Because there's network sponsors to ask
Yeah,
how they
and this
feel
is
about
like
this
I
first.
think it was like the Red Cross was on like the green screen in the background too. It was like just
I
oh
believe so,
no.
yeah.
It was like
Now that you
oh
say
man.
that, yeah.
It's like
Those
oh
Hurricane Katrina
yeah
stuff,
yeah
yeah.
yeah. It's like oh man that he did it. He said it. Then I'm a Taylor Swift fan. I'm one of those Swifties. So I'm eternally conflicted.
It's just so hard to pick sides, right?
I
If you're a
don't. That's why
Swiftie.
I don't. I just
Yeah,
listen
you
to them
can't.
both and ignore
Right. Yeah,
ignore
both
the
both sides
fan.
have something to say.
Both sides have a point. I'll let you finish, but both sides have a point.
Beyonce had a good album that year.
She has a good album
He
every year. What are you talking
he didn't
about?
need to say it in
I
that
feel like
in
I
that
feel like if Taylor wasn't like 17 or 18 at the time, nobody would have
yeah.
given a shit. But she was like
You were
two
taking that away
albums and
from like a young girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
like she's like a album in or like two
Yeah.
albums in, and Kanye's just bum rushing the stage.
After that was the year that he showed up on the red carpet with like a handle of something in a brown paper bag, right?
Hell yeah. Dude, that's awesome, dude.
So
I love that kind of shit. Fuck like typical Hollywood shit. That shit's fucked up. Just show up and do what you want. Fuck it. It's Hollywood. Like, I don't give a shit if you're dressed up. Just come comfy. Like I don't identify you
Yeah,
because you got a
but no,
Louis
but
Vuitton suit
unless
on,
if
you
you're
know.
comfy as blackout drunk though, and if that
Well,
blackout drunk
okay,
is
maybe
gonna make
okay, okay,
you
okay, maybe not
act
black.
out,
Okay, maybe not blackout drunk.
we
I'll
gotta
give you
find the
that.
happy medium.
That's true. Like if you're just coming with a flask, you know, like fuck it, I don't give a shit. Just drink that shit. You're
Hmm.
going to a Hollywood function. They're all fucking on. It's
Everybody,
it's
yeah, everybody has
Hollywood.
their thing, right?
But
Even if it's coffee.
don't. I don't think they're on coffee. I think they're on spiked
Some
coffee.
people, well, I mean, if listen,
Or like
what kind of show are we doing here?
talking about Kanye being blackout drunk, man. I didn't even know he was blackout drunk. I thought he just kind of did it because he's Kanye. I didn't even know he was drunk, honestly.
You can't 100% quote me, but I'm pretty sure that was the year that, yeah, he was on the carpet with something in a brown paper bag.
Listen, it could have been on.
It was coffee.
He just really likes Beyonce. Can you imagine if he went on stage and was like, Taylor Swift is not like black people instead? He just mixed it up because he was so drunk. Oh man, that would have made news.
I don't know, man.
So about you, Ben,
Yeah.
and not and,
I
and not
don't know. I don't know.
Kanye West. This might just
Where
be
am I?
this might be a 10-minute I upload us talking about Kanye as a bonus.
You're gonna just cut it, yeah, here,
I
and
mean,
then we'll have the
no,
real
no,
episode with
I
just
still
the
have
bonus features.
no, I still have the intro of asking what you're wearing. I'll just cut the Kanye part out and use it.
Oh man.
But hello, Ben. Welcome to the
Hi.
behind the PNG Vanity. Not let's go down Kanye memory lane.
I am Vanity Fox. I am a forgetful fox girl, and I like to play Pokemon. And yeah,
That's it. Only Pokemon, nothing else.
I feel like, well, oh yeah, Zelda. Uh,
Zelda.
uh, yeah, I mean Breath of Fire, but I feel like nobody knows what that is.
I never played it. I always have friends telling me to play Legend of Dragoon too. I'm like, I don't have time. I
Yeah,
don't have time for RPGs. I'm old. I don't have a
that's
job.
fair.
Like
That's
long
fair.
RPGs. Like I played Raincoat the other week. I'm like,
What's that?
it's a Danganronpa type game from the creators of
Oh yeah, yeah,
Danganronpa, the new
yeah.
one that just came out. I'm like, do I keep doing this weekly thing or do I just get it done other weekend? Like I'm enjoying the game, don't get me wrong, but it's like, each chapter is like 5 hours or so. Like and then the
It's a
chapter
big time
yeah,
commitment.
exactly. So I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck it. I'm just getting it done. And it was a
right.
mistake on Monday. I'm like, I can't like I enjoyed the game, but I don't think I could have done more. Like I needed to get it done. Otherwise it's
Right.
lingering. Don't like it lingering. You're an old frog like me. I've seen your account age. You've seen mine. You commented that mine's older somehow than yours.
That's true. Well, it's rare that you meet people that have been on Twitch
I
for
had an
forever.
account that was about a year older than what I'm on, but I lost the password
Oh
for it.
no.
So it's technically like 15 years now I've been on JTV and Twitch. So how did you discover it? I just
Um,
happened upon it personally. Like when I was on the internet back in the day, like I don't remember if I was on Facebook or something, but I was big into wrestling. I still am big into wrestling, but less time nowadays.
it's
Less time. But basically I want to watch wrestling. And JTV, as you know, had all the 24/7 channels back in the day.
yeah.
So I would live in the wrestling one and the Scrubs one. Those were the two I was probably in the most. And then after a while, you notice, oh, there's a gaming section, and that's basically how I branched out. So how did you find JTV and all that good stuff? I assume you found JTV first. So I think that's what, or maybe I don't know. Vaughn was Vaughn back then. I don't know. There's so many old sites that are just gone from my memory. But how did you find live streaming first?
It might have it might have been Twitch by the time I found it, I think. But I found it because I was watching speedrun videos
Mm,
on YouTube, and then I kind of realized, oh, I could be watching this live.
live, yeah.
So it was just yeah, downhill from there.
Speed.
I never stopped watching Twitch.
So, to follow that up, what were the speed runners back in the day that got you into like watching speed running and then
I was
Twitch?
watching Enop play Zelda.
I don't know enough.
I was I was super into watching uh Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask speedruns.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I would just spend a bunch of time watching whoever was playing. For a while I was following just like the games that I liked.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then slowly you find the people that are doing it consistently and start following actual people instead of just games.
I mean, that's actually I feel like I don't use the follow the category more than like I don't think I've ever really used it on the
I
website.
just when you really like obscure games, it's fun to see if anybody is playing them ever. Like
Like Breath of Fire.
that's yes, exactly. I'm following all of the Breath of Fire games. I'm following an old RPG called Shining in the Darkness. Like
Never heard of
and I
that.
like to lurk.
Oh
So,
yeah, so you just leave it on.
I'm almost always like lurking and I even when it's people I know, I just end up lurking because I'm usually doing other things or whatever.
Oh no, no, that's what I'm doing. Like that's what I've been doing for years. Like I just leave a tab open. I just pop in and say shit when I'm not doing shit. So I completely understand lurking. Like that's
I
my
say
bread and
nothing
butter.
because I don't trust myself not to get distracted.
What does that mean? What,
It means
in the context of watching somebody, like I understand like when you're live and get distracted, it's like like you just stop typing mid sentence or something and then don't hit
I
enter.
am so no, I mean like I'll forget whatever else I was doing like in the
Oh, and
background.
you'll focus
Uh-huh.
on the stream. Okay, yeah,
If I don't treat it like TV. Like sometimes I'll even watch people's VODs if it's somebody that I enjoy and I missed a stream or something, I'll watch a VOD because then I can't even be tempted to stop.
see, I don't know. I can't do VODs. VODs is weird to me. I feel like if I'm watching them, like if I'm going to Twitch, I'm not going for YouTube, you know?
I'm a next
Yeah,
level
yeah.
lurker, but I mean, I think that's because I started on YouTube too.
Oh,
So
you start. See, I didn't know that. See, we're already getting places. So wait, what do you do on YouTube then?
no, that's what I mean. Like I used to watch, like yesterday, I
Oh,
used to
so you
watch
started all. So
speedrun.
you watched like the
Yeah,
uploaded speed runs and then.
yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I understand.
It's not that unreasonable for me to watch somebody's content from a few hours ago
Oh yeah, yeah. For me, it's
on a
like
VOD.
I don't know. If I'm on Twitch, I'm like I don't want to watch like a
That's
not
fair.
live
Yeah, no,
thing, you know?
you're the
Like
typical user, I think. Yeah.
yeah. Like it's like, well, I mean, I'll go back into a VOD if I need to clip stuff, obviously, or something like that for myself. But I'm not gonna be like,
No,
oh,
if you've
let's.
ever wondered who's watching your VOD, it's me, bro.
Yeah, you're just watching everybody's VOD. You're that one view on everybody's VOD.
Uh,
It's
the
just
next level lurker.
you lurk so much. You lurk during the VODs. So your go-tos were Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah. No.
I don't like those two. I know I'm in the majority for Ocarina of Time. I will stand my ground that I did not like Majora's Mask though. I'll concede I'll concede that or Ocarina is pretty good, even though it's very fucking clunky nowadays. Holy shit. But I
No.
did not. Oh, don't say no to that. It's a fucking N64 game. Get out of here. It's fucking clunky as shit.
N64 controller's so peak though.
Dude,
It felt so
it's
right.
a fucking widow's peak haircut of a controller. Don't do this. I do. I.
I won't
I.
die on this hill. You're right.
Yeah.
But
I didn't
it is
hate
a
the
good
controller
controller.
either, but it's like it's not a good controller. It's not the
But
worst. It's
it
not
was the
good.
first time we had like different sections of a controller functioning in different ways.
Didn't PlayStation 1 have that? I didn't even have a
Yeah, but
PlayStation 1.
N64 took it next level with the middle handle.
I guess. This is a weird argument for the N64 controller. You know what a controller needs, or you know what my DualShock 5 needs? A handle jutting out in between the analog sticks for no apparent reason. Because you know damn well they could have just moved the fucking middle stick
Yeah.
over, like onto
Well,
the
I
other
mean, the
one.
GameCube controller really is the best controller of all time. So they got it right next gen.
It's SNES is mine, but that's
That's fair. That's a good controller.
I the only reason I don't like the GameCube controller, it's a good controller, is that the B button is shit and the Z button doesn't do anything. There's like
Fair.
no games use that fucking Z button, and there's not even like a Z button on the other side. Like why?
And it's
Like
the stickiest button too, especially when the controller's fresh. The Z button's kind of hard to press sometimes.
yeah, the clickies of the shoulder buttons are nice though on GameCube.
Yeah, they're so satisfying.
I still think the 360 controller is up there too. It's just a good
the
controller, and
the
so is the
Switch Pro
DualShocks.
controller
I
would
can't
be
do the
up there
Switch.
if it didn't burn out. They burn
Yeah,
out so easy.
that's why I got the 8-bit Do as the alternative to the Switch Pro, because it's basically that, but with back pedals on the like insides and button mapping, and you can toggle to any
Yeah,
mode, and it looks exactly like one, and it's like $25 cheaper.
it's a great controller.
It's a
Yeah,
very good controller, and it's got a good D-pad. Apparently, the Pro D-pads are fucking shit.
yeah, they're
Uh,
kind of.
and I play a lot
Eh.
of 2D platforming and platforming stuff, so that's why I like the SNES controller because I think like this has been the closest to that
Yeah,
D-pad I've ever used. So any other speedrunning games that got you into any of that, or is it just you watched Majora's Mask speedruns on YouTube and Ocarina of Time, and then went over to Twitch and watched them live?
that's really what I watched the most. I just was so obsessed. OOT was my childhood in a lot of ways. So
Did you beat it as a kid? I didn't beat
I
it as
did.
a kid, and I had to go back to it. So you beat it? Better than
I
me.
did because my grandmother helped me, and I would help like my childhood friends beat it.
How you're like the lore master?
Yeah, like
I
my grandmother bought a guidebook and finished it
Oh,
and
okay,
showed me
okay.
how, and then I would show other people.
You had the forbidden knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like even with a guide, I didn't get through OT, and I gave up on Majora's Mask as a kid. I feel like a kid plying
Majora's Mask
Majora's
was tough.
Mask, that's just a hard game. It's a
It is a
hard
hard
game
game.
for a fucking 8-year-old too, you know?
I think that's also part of why I liked seeing it broken as a speed run even more. Because as a kid, the 3 day limit seems crazy. So when you see someone break the game and make a brand new game that's even faster, that was just fascinating to me.
I didn't like Majora's Mask. This is a Majora's Mask
I love
podcast.
it. It's so dark and edgy.
It's
It's so
I don't
dark and
know.
edgy.
I don't know. It's
The
just
world's gonna end in 3 days,
oh,
FJ.
hear you. Not enjoyed the world ending.
But it's time for the carnival and the couples mask side quest. Oh my god, no, I love Majora's Mask. Don't do this to me.
Listen, FJ, there's a Pikachu mask. You have to like the game. You like
The
Pokemon.
Keaton mask, yeah.
There's
This
Pikachu
is
in
the
the game.
fox.
Pikachu, guys.
The Pikachu fox.
So you're watching VODs. I don't know if you're watching VODs back in the day, but I mean, a YouTube upload's essentially a fucking VOD. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but that's yeah.
It's essentially a VOD. So you're watching VODs. You're lurking sometimes on early Twitch. When did you first start streaming yourself, or thought, "Hey, I want to try streaming"? When did
Mm,
that start creeping into the old noggin?
I don't even necessarily remember.
Like I like
why or
like I,
how or when.
like I don't mean like on like I've said that I think I've said this to Soul. It was
Yeah.
like on March 8th at
Yeah, no.
12 p.m. Like I don't need that. Just like do you remember like anything? I was like I wanted like for me for example. When I started in JTV in 2011, 2012, whatever fucking year I started at this point, uh, I just went live with Mario Kart 64. I'm like, oh shit, I can emulate this game and stream it to people, you know?
Yeah.
And then some of my friends on Facebook at the time were like, hey, you playing Mario Kart on the internet? I'm like, yeah. And so they followed me or
Yeah.
whatever. And I'm like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. So I was like I've never been the biggest streamer, but I've like always constantly met people through streaming, so that's always been
Yeah.
my philosophy of, I stream to meet people, not, necessarily try to get big or anything like that. But that's how I like I didn't know anybody when I first started streaming. I just kind of found the site and was on JTV because I knew about fucking 24/7 illegal movie channels. And 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 I just kind of went live one time and like, oh, that's kind of fun. And just
Yeah.
so that's kind of like what I did. So you just one day was like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, you know what it was? I saw the PlayStation camera, I think.
Oh no.
Uh and yeah, that's what I did. The first few times, well, actually, I think for like maybe the first year that I was streaming, I was just streaming direct from the PlayStation camera.
Oh my god.
Uh
How? Bro,
um
that's psychotic almost. At least it wasn't.
uh
At least it wasn't like the eye toy, you know.
it's true, yeah.
Your streaming camera was the eye toy. So
It was a really convenient peripheral because it had everything. You just had to turn on your PlayStation and go, and you
yeah.
could stream any PlayStation game.
So
Uh,
what were you streaming during that first year? Do you remember at all? What was going on at the
uh,
time?
I was playing Overwatch on
Okay.
console for a little bit. I think
Okay.
I was doing just like random stuff.
Just yeah.
Yeah, console Overwatch and a whole lot of whatever else is on PlayStation.
Probably not All Stars Battle Royale.
No, I don't think that
Because
was out yet.
nobody played that game. That all right. VTubing wise, we're not gonna get
Yes,
right into it right now. So you're playing Overwatch. You're playing, you're playing. I don't know whatever else. Did you have the Move? Did you have PlayStation Move? 'Cause that game
I
was
didn't.
okay. That's
I
probably
didn't
a good thing,
have them.
honestly.
Yeah,
So, so what?
I had the
But
Connect. That
but
was bad enough.
oh oh
Well, you
you
know why?
oh
I bought the R2D2 Xbox.
okay. What's that
Yeah,
have to do with the Connect? Oh,
it
did it
came
just
with
come
it.
with it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah,
Dude,
because of the
they
Star Wars Connect game or whatever.
oh the
That's what it
Han
was.
Solo song is legendary. It's fucking so bad. It's so awful. It's
I never played the game. I
wait,
sold
have
it.
you heard the fucking Han Solo Just Dance
Yes,
song? It's so fucking shit.
yes.
It's great. And then they use the young Han Solo dancing. It's fucking weird. Cause it's
This-
not Harrison Ford, but it was also before we got the shitty prequel movie, so it's not that guy either. So it's just kind of it's like AI generated Harrison Ford
Just
younger,
a very strange concept
and then
that
he's
somebody said
dancing.
okay to at some point.
And there's other songs, I'm sure. Nobody knows them. We know the Han Solo song because of the pun. It's all okay. So between Overwatch and you
Yes.
coming to VTubing, being Pokemon, Capcom creators, all that stuff. What was your gaming in the middle, or was it anything?
I was honestly, I think just cosplaying a lot
So
more.
so would you do? I'm gonna touch on that later too. Would you stream that cosplay, like making stuff, or just like what would
I
that
did that a
entail?
little bit. but
Mm.
I feel like I've always been really sporadic with streaming. Like it kind of similar to you. If I'm not feeling into it, like I would
Oh,
say the last few years and VTubing have made me the most consistent I've ever been
oh,
with
same.
streaming because it's always just been a way to hang out, and VTubing makes that so much easier.
I feel like going away from scheduling every week helped me. Everybody told me for years, you gotta make a schedule and you gotta stick to them. Like, man, that doesn't work sometimes. Man, it doesn't work to
I
just make
I
a
am the
schedule and
exact
stick to it.
opposite, but I totally understand what you
So
mean.
for me now, it's like I just kind of like I'll probably be live one of these days, and if I'm not, I'll let you know I'm not gonna be live. Otherwise, you'll probably see me like in my Discord or on Twitter going live at some point. If I don't, I
That's how I
don't,
used to be,
you know.
for sure. I totally get that.
And it's like it's just easier to handle. Like I'm not making like big bucks off of this, or anything like that. I don't have to like
It's
appease
fun.
you people. Fuck you. I do what I want. But yeah, like I was saying yesterday, I was talking before I started up Remnant 2. Like I was like, I made like $1,500 last year. And like I don't like that's a lot of money, obviously, but like I don't know. It's not enough money to where I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stream 6 days a week for 4 hours a day, on top of my job and on top of all the other stuff I'm doing. Like it's just not gonna
Right.
happen. Not today. Like maybe if I ever did blow up, like sure, maybe you consider doing a more scheduled thing because you're getting bigger, you will have more time. But like for a small streamer, like just let them know a general time you're gonna be live and try to stick around that. Like, cause when I go live now, I'm like, I'll be like 6 to 8 or some shit. I don't fucking know. So just keep an eye out, like, and then usually it's somewhere in that time frame, or I just go live early and I'm live at that time anyway.
I have a mentality of I'm scheduling my video game time for the week. Does that make sense?
Your
Like,
allotment.
yeah, no, in some ways, yes. Like for me, I definitely used to operate the way you do, but I'm in this place right now where I think it makes sense for me to schedule my game time and schedule my fun, and also have friends in chat that are reminding me to hydrate and stop when we hit a certain point.
Honestly, that's me sometimes. Like just last night, for example, like I wasn't planning on going till 2 a.m. We just kind of started up and the game was
Right.
fun, so and then I'm like, oh shit,
Exactly.
it's 2 a.m. and I've been up since 5 a.m.
Yeah.
for work, so I
Right.
gotta call it or I'm done.
Yeah. No.
I,
Absolutely.
like nobody's in my chat saying, hey, after you've been live for 5 hours. Like I don't have that conscience.
That's what I need. I need a conscience.
I
Stop playing Pokemon. You've played Pokemon for 6 hours. Nothing good happens after 6 hours of Pokemon.
To be fair, not a lot good happens before 6 hours at this point with Renegade Platinum, but that's like neither here nor there. Just use rare candies. Just save the
I'm in my
time.
hyperbolic chamber.
just, just save the time.
I'm in my hyperbolic
You know how
chamber.
many more attempts you would have if you just not level grinded.
Yeah, but I feel like the game gets significantly easier once you get past that beginning grind. When you get to Salacion Town, you get the lady that helps you grind EVs. So once you get there, it
It
gets
sounds
easier.
like
So
coping.
I really like I know it does sound like a cope, but I really like the beginning of Renegade Platinum.
Well, I think you've like what's it? You've Stockholm syndromed yourself into liking it because you've done it so much.
Maybe
You're like
I might have.
I've played the intro to this game 200 times. I
It
must love it.
feels so good. It feels like home, yeah.
It feels like home. The home I go back to 4 times a stream sometimes.
Really? Yeah, it's my comfort. It's my comfort. over plates.
See, my only argument for rare candy grinding is I've done Nuzlocke with rare candy grinding. It doesn't matter if you have a
No,
level
it
if you have a level cap and you're going in blind, like
in
you
some
can.
ways you're hurting yourself too if you use candies. You're almost putting yourself at a disadvantage. So it's
Not
really,
I
yeah,
don't even think
whatever
it.
people's preferences.
Yeah, that's what I think it is too. That's why I always meme you about it and just say it over and over. Cause I
Yeah.
don't give a shit
No,
if you wanna take
I
eight
don't either.
hours to grind. I play
If you
play.
want to spend the rest of your
Yeah,
life playing the first 20 minutes of this game, go for it.
yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter if you use rare candies or if you're like leveled up properly. If you're going in blind, it's still hard. You still have to play the game. You know.
Right.
Like I think a
Yeah.
lot of people think that, oh, you're just cheating and getting all. You still gotta play the game. Like what the fuck?
And even when you're not blind, there's always going to be an element of RNG because there's parts of Pokemon that are coin flips no matter what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
yeah. You get paralyzed like three times, or like the first gym
uh-huh.
leader, like their ace has drizzle set up or whatever it was. I think for that game, like okay, it's fine. It's a water gym leader. I got a full team of six. They're all level capped. And then the not Remoraid, Basculin. That's a Gen 5 one. And Drizzle comes out with an Aqua Jet. I'm like, okay, thank, fuck you. You
Yeah.
know, like I don't care how many rare candies. Like if you're not over leveled and you're like obviously if
Yeah.
you're over leveling, like fight then it's easy. Just level the fucking like three levels over and you're fine. But if you're just leveling the level cap of the gym, I
Yee.
Nuzlocke rant done.
I love Nuzlocke.
So VTuber, what made you get into it for the first time? Like I'm sure there's something you saw on YouTube or you saw somebody doing it on Twitch or something like that. And you're like, what the hell is this VTubing? And like, who popped your cherry, so to speak?
Uh, yeah, true. And it's weird too because I feel like I saw a lot of VTubers and VTuber content without even necessarily realizing what I was seeing at first until I, in retrospect, knew who they were. But it was Corona for me
Dog life.
because, but yeah, best dog because I saw her on my feed a couple times and she just made me laugh hysterically, even when I didn't necessarily know what she was saying or what was going on. Because she's just so funny. I don't know. I adore her.
Yeah, she's one of the ones I saw early on. Like obviously, like I knew about Kazuna for a long time. Like she's technically like the
Yeah,
first, I think. She's like
right.
But like I didn't
I
like
was
nobody
I was like
thought of her
aware
as a
of.
VTuber. Yeah,
I
nobody
thought
thought.
of her like Miku, to be honest.
I more like yeah, I thought she was just like oh all right like
Yeah,
VTuber like it almost wasn't a term yet, so it was like oh it's just
right.
Kazuna or that's
She was
Miku
her own
Vocaloid.
entity.
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah. Coroni was a lot of people's first over here just because the what was it? She yelled "fuck you" at somebody and it went viral. I forget what it was. I think that's what it
there
was.
was there was a few clips of her saying like, and then the I'm dead,
Oh yeah, the
thank
I'm
you.
dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like stuff like that went so viral
I think
that I think
that's one of the first things I saw from her. Like I don't know. I haven't
she,
really.
she
I
did a thing with like Mario, like the Mario where you make your own
oh
Mario Maker.
Mario Maker.
What's that game called where you make your own Mario?
The second one probably maybe. I might have been the first back then.
But but yeah, no, I saw like a thing of her with that where that blew up kind of in the speedrunning community. And so it made its way to my feed through the blessed algorithm and
That might be
she
why
just
I saw it too because
started making me laugh every day from there. So
we're going back to speedrunning because like I'm into it more than people think. Like not so much like the GDQs nowadays, at least the last like 5 years, because I don't like what they're doing with like the company. It's way too
I
corporate
like
for me, and like it
I
doesn't
like GDQ though as a
Well, yeah, as a concept and helping people, and raising money for charity, sure. Like obviously,
I don't know enough about the corporate direction, I'm not gonna lie. I've kind
yeah,
of checked out since the last time I was physically at GDQ.
yeah. That's kind of why I checked out because I kind of learned about it, Like it's not, it's shady, but it's not. It's just corporate now, So it's not the same feel, as watching
No,
like.
I totally get that.
I don't want to be like the guy. It's like, oh, it was better back in the day. But like nowadays, when you watch GDQ, it's like you can't talk in chat. You can't. You can't do anything without getting, banned in chat. You can't have fun in chat. It's all like very sterile, and like you laugh at
Yeah,
what we
I
laugh at,
think
or you don't laugh at all, like that
I
kind of
think
thing.
I think as things grow, especially in a public forum, it's just
Oh yeah,
it
it's just
becomes more
so
complicated.
yeah, it's just so
And
hard to. Yeah, and I get that too. Obviously, they get like like billions
I
and
don't know.
billions of dollars and so many viewers concurrently every fucking event. Like you kind of have to.
My only feeling is as long as they keep doing good and raising money, that's a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. I
Net
mean,
positives.
yeah. I just hope it's like done not in a shady way either, too, and like
without
people
losing
get paid.
without losing its soul and its integrity, honestly, is what I hope for any charity event. And I feel like that can be so hard for
Mm.
charity things because it's easy to stray from the original intent.
But yeah, like I don't know, like for me, speedrunning has been like Mario World. So I know the Mario World cluster, and they're not all like speedrunners per se. Like Pooh Bear and like Mitch does three, but he does a ton of Mario World and like Ryukar and Barbarous and all them. So that's the sphere I was in, and like even like even they got wind of like the Coroni doing like Mario stuff, and it's like back when it was happening, like it wasn't like they dedicated streams to it or anything, but they were like, oh, look at this
Right.
VTuber doing, because I'm sure it was
Yeah.
fucking Mario World. That's what most people, I think most people that play Mario Maker still probably gravitate
I
towards Mario World, but
I honestly have no idea what's what with that. I just know it's fun to watch because it drives people insane sometimes.
yeah. Oh yeah, Orthor too. Like that's what I watch speedrunning wise. Not necessarily speedrunners, but they do all the Mario World hacks and like Mario Maker 2 stuff fast.
I just genuinely love watching people compete against a game and themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like you're only competing against the game and your own best time.
That's why I love Summoning Salt stuff. I've been watching Summoning Salt. I don't know if there's no way you haven't heard of Summoning Salt at this point,
I,
right?
I, ge- I genuinely don't know who that is. No.
Really? Like he's the guy that does the speedrun history records.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
I do know who that is.
I was watching because he's been doing videos for years. I was watching him before he blew up, and he was like doing like small scale stuff on like all the games. And then I forget what video it was that just blew up, and just he skyrocketed. But like whenever I'm like, oh, you don't get speed running, I just like, oh, here's this summoning salt video. Like maybe this will get you into like maybe not the game, but like, oh, that's speed running.
Understanding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So. I don't know. That kind of kept me on Twitch for a long time because I would just lurk in all their streams like you would in Ocarina stuff. But yeah, like Coroni, like that clip, I remember just went everywhere. like no matter who you were, no matter what you streamed, like whether you're an anime or not, like just her playing Mario and doing a viral thing, just just
Her being best doggo.
so Coroni was your first.
That's my OG. Yeah.
Uh, so what made you want to create your own VTuber character then? Or,
Uh,
get into it?
kind of, kind of like a combination of things. I think being a weeb for sure, uh, but also uh, I have a lot of struggles with my health and some autoimmune stuff.
Mm,
So it was really exciting to me the idea of being able to create something that would let me stream even if I feel like garbage.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Um, and also just the fun of getting to be the fox girl of my anime dreams.
So is it like a I feel like garbage, or I think I look like garbage. I don't want to be on camera. I can be on camera if I'm a VTuber type thing, or just I can just pop on a VTuber model and just be a VTuber.
And it's in some ways it's also just the privacy of it too. Like when stuff starts happening, if I'm like my weight is fluctuating drastically, I know that, and I don't want to necessarily talk about that with somebody that I don't even know, or I don't want somebody to even have the capacity to comment on that. You know
No,
what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
Like,
I understand because the first thing I thought of is there's probably like compulsive fans of like like IRL people that are like not compulsive but obsessive. Obsessive compulsive. That's a word I got there. They're like follow like the videos of people and are probably commenting too for some fucking deranged reason. Like, oh, you look like you've gained weight since the last video, or oh,
right, or like,
good job on losing weight since the last video. Like I'm
or
sure
like
they're.
you look sick today, or you look whatever.
Oh,
You know what I'm
are
saying?
you getting enough sleep? You look tired today. Oh, you got enough, oh, that's good. You got enough sleep compared to yesterday. I'm proud of you. Like it's fucking like that kind of that's weird. Like,
It is.
especially
It's a
being
level.
like you being a lady folk too. Like it's just another level.
Yeah.
Like
And sometimes, and I don't ever want to discourage people that are well-meaning, that genuinely care about the people they're interacting with online, right? And I get it, like if somebody sees something and it makes them feel a certain way, or like they should be compassionate or ask a question, but at the same time, a lot of times you're aware of how you look, right?
oh yeah.
Like if I have bags under my eyes because I'm not feeling well,
All
there's
right,
nothing I
come
can do
on.
about
I'm right
it,
here.
right?
Come on.
No,
I'm right
I'm saying
here.
it because that's where I'm at today,
Yeah.
personally. But like that's the kind of thing that somebody might make a well-meaning comment on, but then it
Yeah.
sticks in your brain, and you're like, ugh.
It's the one negative comment. It's like you have like a billion people in or whatever saying good job, hey you did it,
Right.
and that one
All it
person's
takes
like,
is
yo, that little bit of flab I see, and it's like, well, there it is, that'll do it. You know, it's just that one comment yelling at you there for whatever it is. Oh man, that hair's receding. Yes, I know. I'm depressed. Thank you. I'm an aging male.
like, and people don't even necessarily think about it, right?
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
sometimes you don't even.
That yeah. That's why I agree. Obviously not all of it's not all of it's ill intent, but a lot of it's very socially awkward. The parasocial aspect of it of, oh, I watched them. We're friends, so I can be like, nudge, nudge, looking good today. you know, like
Right.
first time chatter. Like I do agree. There's a line, but like also there are the
For
people out
me,
there that just either genuinely don't know or don't care about the line and just say whatever they want to
right.
say.
Or people that are actively looking for the line. That's another thing
Oh
too
yeah,
that happens.
see how far you can get over the line.
Yeah,
See,
like let's find it.
that's why when I'm in a chat, I just say whatever, and then that's why I'm
No,
that's why I'm
that's why I
deranged in
just
a
lurk.
chat.
That's why I just lurk. You never know I'm there. I'm just quietly listening.
See when you phrase it like that, it's almost as bad. Like you're the
I know.
NSA, like you're the
That's why I phrased
NSA.
it like that. Yeah, that's terrifying.
Listen, this Fox girl, she has problems with self-image, but she's listening.
It's not even,
She's
and
waiting.
you know what it is? It's not even necessarily a self-image problem so much as I just my appearance is mine now. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like
not
you don't
yours.
get to see it. I'm going to give you this all the time, and we're going to engage on a human level, even though I'm a cartoon fox.
See, I'm telling you, this is what I was saying with Einstein earlier before I started recording. Like you give him the food and he gets the food when he gets the food and he gets the food that he's gonna eat. That's what you're doing with us.
I
See?
can't, bro. I can't give him the food like that though. It's so hard.
Just give
You
him
don't
the.
understand.
I feed Aurora. I put her either wet food or dry food in the bowl, and if she chooses to eat it, that's on her. If she doesn't eat it, she ain't gonna eat it. I ain't forcing it down.
If he doesn't eat breakfast by dinner time, I have to give him a different food.
Disgusting.
And I think that's why my cat doesn't eat beef or chicken or white fish.
Dude, cats love all. Cats are carnivores. They eat meat. Einstein
He eats
should.
tuna or salmon. That's
No,
it.
no, fish is pussy meat. That's not meat.
He
Like,
eats tuna
like,
or salmon. No
literally,
pate. Ever.
literally, cats in the wild will feast on things
I
like
know. I
meat.
watched his mother. I watched his mother eat a mouse in front of him. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like you think that he just wants salmon? Humans don't want salmon.
I mean, I do, but I'm also, yeah, I'm a fox. So that's.
No, nobody's nobody. Okay, nobody's favorite food is salmon.
I really
Li-
like salmon.
No, but would you, like you said earlier, like, I would have to struggle to think about a favorite food. You would not say like grilled salmon is my favorite food. No, no
No, but maybe
person.
maybe sushi though.
That's not salmon though. That's like a whole different thing. I'm just saying. Oh, you go to a restaurant, you're like, oh, I'm gonna have my favorite meal, grilled salmon. Like nobody. That's nobody's
Salmon
favorite.
avocado rolls.
See, no, that's still sushi though. Like that's salmon, but it's not just grilled
Yeah,
salmon. You know what I'm
you're
saying?
right. You're
Like I
right.
like I
Yeah.
like I like I say chicken Alfredo. I have a go-to. I'll say chicken Alfredo for favorite food. I'm not gonna be like penne noodles. like they're
I
the best.
might.
Like they're the best noodles, but it's not my favorite food.
I love penne.
Well, penne is the best noodle.
That is the best noodle. Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me if you don't think it's the best
No, I
noodle.
do. I genuinely think penne is the best noodle. 100%.
I
Better
can't.
than ziti because you know what it is? Penne cooks really well al dente, and I like my
Mm,
pasta as raw as possible.
okay, I don't like it. I don't like it crunchy, but I do agree that
I
penne
will
is
eat
good
a
because
crunchy pasta.
like I'm not eating it like cereal, like dry cereal. I
I
used
will
to
eat it like
I
dry
used to
cereal.
do that as a kid. I think everybody did. You'd take like a couple of
Yeah.
spaghettis out and just
I eat one every
like
time.
like
Every time I'm
Pocky,
cooking pasta.
like Pocky.
Yeah.
It wasn't good
It's
because it's a thin
it's
piece
a
of
snack.
uncooked. Not even a thin piece of uncooked noodle, but like as a kid, like your mom's cooking, I'm gonna snag one and just for no reason. Didn't taste like
Yeah.
anything. Probably hurt your teeth.
It tastes like fun.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far about eating a raw
I,
singular spaghetti noodle. So I'm gonna throw
amen.
up your character design right now, future me. Don't forget to do that. So on the character slash design side of all this, are you a character? Are you playing a character, or are you just you, or is it like somewhere a mix of both? Because for example, me, I'm not a fuck. I'm too lazy to be a character. And if somebody like tells me something that I need to be doing, or like is like, oh, this is lore, right? Or you're a Pokemon, you know? I'm like, I'm not a Pokemon. First off, don't sue me, Nintendo. But it's like, oh, does Eggy like how does Eggy work? If you give out an egg, does he come back? I sure, fuck it, I don't care. I don't know. I didn't think that far. I just made a lore video and now I'm just streaming with this as like my camera, essentially. But I'll go with any
Ye-
lore you give me. But like for you, are you like more character? Or are you just more you, like with a
I
avatar?
think I think it's kind of uh, a mix of both. Like there's definitely a lot of me, and but there's an element of exaggeration there too. And uh, like obviously I'm not a fox in real life.
Whoa,
I know.
whoa.
I know. But I would say that the Vanity Fox, if we wanted to call it a character, has a real lot in common with me.
That's a whole lot in common.
Uh, Lore wise, I'm a forgetful fox girl and I forgot, but I left some clues for myself on my face, like my name and a star.
Okay, but why the star though? I get the fox, but why the star?
I don't know yet
Is it because you're a
because
star? Is that what
I, I
it
don't
is?
I don't remember.
Oh, so you'll write that lore later. That's
I forgot.
see, see, I don't do well. Like, I am so fucking awful with people and their fucking lore and shit, dude. Because I just treat them like a person, you know? Like, I'm on with so many people that
If you're my
are,
friend, yeah, I'm
yeah, like,
gonna
I'm on
yeah.
with so many people and they're like, I'm like, I'll make fun of Caddy right now because I think she's very much in the vein of, she has lore, but she's just herself. So she's like, oh yeah, I'm yokai, goddess or whatever. I'm like, you're just fucking catty. So I just call her a bitch or whatever, and then we move on. I just treat her like a friend.
Right.
Obviously, calling your friends bitches is the highest form of honor. Twitch and YouTube, don't ban me. Don't be pussies. Uh, but that I don't know. I tend to like, if somebody's like uber in character, I think it's more awkward for me. You know? Like, I get if you want
And
to
in
be in
a way that
character.
makes sense because you're playing yourself 100%,
Well,
right?
I'm not even
Your
playing. I'm not even
real name
playing. I'm
don't
not really playing anything, honestly.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying.
yeah, I'm
You're
just
you.
me. Yeah, I'm just me.
Yeah.
Like in my lore, I'm like, well, I'm this fucking being that got thrown through some fucking muck portal, and for some reason it got fused into this VTube studio, and now I'm that.
Well, that's
You know.
that's why I've given myself the happy medium of somewhere between me and lore so that I can easily vibe with other VTubers or even remember them into my lore.
Oh
Or
yeah.
I can just be me, right?
Yeah. I just like I'll just go with anything. I don't care. If you want to write me into your lore, I go for it. I'll fuck it. Who gives like I'm down. Enjoy. I don't know what you're. Just don't like make me racist or something in your lore. I don't know. Like don't make me an asshole. I do that enough on my own. So you're in between. This isn't your final form, obviously.
True.
You're So how is that coming along? Is what you've been posting the past, what, 3, 4, 5 months that you're working towards? Is that the idea? Is that the perfect cell Vanity Fox form?
No,
Oh, it's still
I don't
not.
think
You're
so. No.
still growing off the one you've been
I'm
posting.
still, yeah, yeah. I think there's elements of that that I like, but I don't know. I don't know that I'm settled on it yet. You know, I think it could change.
Are you trying to convince me or yourself?
Myself,
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. I don't know where I stand on this one. You know what it is? I just shouldn't be allowed to. I need somebody to tell me when it's done. You know what I'm saying? Like stop. Just it's the
I
project is
mean,
done.
I think it looks fine. Like, at least you have a torso and legs now. You have your
Yeah,
clocks.
that's what I needed more than anything was my Crocs. You know,
You have the color scheme. You got the cow accents for Milk Tank. I
the
get it.
the
Like,
cow the cow accent was very important.
yeah, like I think it's a good design. I think just
Thank
just
you.
fucking do it. Just
You're right.
fucking do it. Like I don't know. I think I see this a lot in the VTuber community where it's like, I don't vibe with its design for me. And like, I know you. Well, obviously, I can't speak on everybody because I don't know everybody. I'm like, I see like what you post. I'm like, oh yeah, that's you, Vanity. That's just 2.0. Like, I get it. I see
Thank
it. Like, and then you're like, I don't know. Like, what the fuck don't you know? What the fuck? It's like Mill Tank, fucking teal, fucking Crocs. Like, that's you.
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
and then you get sick new fucking model to work with, and like probably expressions and shit that you can toy around with and shit like that. And just like, even if you end up not liking it, you can just use it as a different,
Right.
as a toggle, you know?
It starts. It just starts to feel like so much. I don't know.
If it
It's
makes you feel
pressure
better,
to decide what you want to look like in your default skin.
I'll be honest with you, when I got the first mock-ups for this, like I wasn't sure about it either, if we're being
Yeah.
honest. And then like once the rigging started happening and I like started to see it moving and stuff, it was like I get it, you know.
Right.
So I think
Sometimes that's what it is
I
too.
think
Yeah. You have to see the bigger picture.
once you get the
Trust the
ball rolling,
process.
you trust the process.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Joel. You need to leave that team. He ain't going anywhere. He ain't going anywhere in Philly, dog. Come on, man.
Aw. But it's a fun story.
They
It's a
got
fun it's
At
a
least
fun
they got rid of Harden,
metaphor.
I guess. What? What? Let me have my sports.
I am. I brought it there. I
Yeah.
brought it there.
Also, you're from up there. You're spoiled for sports from where
New
you're
England
at.
is
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah.
And I'm a Cowboys fan. Fucking end me.
Oof.
Yeah. Don't oof that.
Yeah.
Only I can oof that. You had fucking
That's a
Tom
tough.
fucking Brady for 20 years. Shut up.
That is not, that's who. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
You
What can I
don't,
say?
and
I
you have
can't
the
say
Celtics, you have the Bruins, you have you don't know.
anything. Yeah.
You have
It feels
everything
it
up
feels
there.
really good to just be able to buy a hat and not have to worry about the logo on it because they're all doing well.
And I'm I hate I love the Cowboys, don't get me wrong, but I also understand that okay, growing up in Texas, that's where I grew up. I grew up in DFW, so that's why I'm a Cowboys fan. Uh,
Yeah.
Most of the people like locally aren't fucking idiots. Like obviously they're idiots, but like it's a more metered thing because it's your local team. But since the fucking Cowboys are America's fucking team, we have fucking shitheads from everywhere. They're like, oh fuck, I'm from fucking Venice Beach and I love the Cowboys and they're gonna win the fucking Super Bowl every goddamn year and we're gonna talk shit after we beat a 1-10 team, you know? They're like, shut up! You're making me look bad. Cause I try to be a nice, like I don't buy into all the rivalry shit. I just want to watch the Cowboys win. You know? And then everybody's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're a Cowboys fan, you fucking asshole, America's team." Blah, blah, blah. Come on, man. Just want to watch
Yeah, I know.
football.
I can totally relate as somebody that like if I'm in another state and I get into an Uber, they're like, "Oh, where are you from?" "Oh, the Boston area?" "Oh."
Boston.
and then
to
and
be
then there's
fair,
suddenly
to be fair
huge
though,
opinions.
the Boston fans are fucking brutal. They are fucking
Yeah.
if I think Philly's the worst like fan base. What? Not like because they're bad fans, just because they're dicks. Boston's right there with them in my opinion.
I think
They're
everybody always expects that I'm gonna come at them with like all of this intense sports love and knowledge, and I'm just like, yeah, like, we could talk
yeah
about that if you want to
yeah
talk about that.
yeah I get it from Boston. It's not just sports where they're like
Like it's
it's
everybody's real life all day, every day, and we
out
have to be very excited about it. Yeah.
excited so passionate. We're passionate about our sports. That's the terminology. Listen,
Yeah,
you're
passion.
yelling slurs at people on the field, but we're passionate about our team, so it's fine.
Passion.
The passion
Crime
overrides.
passion.
Yeah. Come on, if you murdered somebody that you're passionate about, is it really murder? Come on.
It's still not gonna bring them back to life. So
Oh, get the
oh
sports. What happened? I'll trust the
I
process.
I keep doing it, man. I'm taking us to places that I don't even need to take us.
So
Places
Kanye
that nobody wants
West.
to go.
So Kanye West. Finally, I have one more thing before we move on to cosplay. I think you have a lot. You're gonna have a lot to say about cosplay because I never hear you talk about it, and you've done so much of it. You know, so I think uh, you
It's
are
a
un
compulsion.
you are unhinged on Twitter, and it's like with like the Five Nights at Freddy obsession, the Freddy
Oh yeah,
Fazbear stuff. You have a
I
Funko
might
Pop of Five Nights at Freddy, which is like the highest red flag a
Springtrap,
person could have.
Springtrap
Oh, oh,
specifically.
Springtrap, that's who it is. Okay, it's
It's
a
the flopped version from GameStop.
it's you have a Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pop is like the highest red flag a person could have because not only is it Five Nights at Freddy's, it's also a Funko. It's like the double whammy. So,
You know what? That's so real though, because I will straight up say that I do not like Funko Pops. I own 3 of them though, and I'll tell you which 3 I own. Obviously, Springtrap, Deathwing, and Big Daddy, because I don't like the soulless eyes of the Funko Pops. But for Springtrap, it works.
I can agree with I can agree with that. I don't like Funko Pops either. Like I have one that somebody sent me, and then I had one from back in the day that was Dirk from the Mavs, Dirk Nowitzki, Mavs legend. Shout out to Dirk. Uh, I sold it because I didn't want it. And apparently, it was pretty rare at the time, so it sold for like $100. And I shudder to think if I would have kept any of the money at the time. So I can't fucking be like, oh man, I could have kept it till now and gotten rich, you know. But at the time, it was
Yeah.
like $100. I'm like, shit, man, if I kept it another 10 years, you
Yeah,
know,
and
like,
for a Funko Pop too, you never know. I don't know. I feel like they're the type of
oh
collectible that
yeah.
fluctuates so heavily that you're probably better off.
And then also, in addition, the back rooms as well. There's a lot of back rooms posting and
I do
playing. So
I do like the back
was
rooms.
were these two things um, were these a before thing or a during thing? Like was there an obsession for Five Nights at Freddy's? Maybe not so much the back rooms. The back rooms have always been a thing, you know, but it's kind of blown up more the past like couple years, you know, more than
It's
anything else.
wild how much the back rooms has blown up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's really enjoyable as somebody who likes
That's what I was
that
saying.
concept.
Was Five Nights and then backroom stuff just shit you were doing before, and now it's like, oh, it's acceptable, more acceptable
In
now, or is it
in
like
some,
something that's manufactured lately?
in some ways, yeah. It's remember when these things used to be like all over the internet for a little bit, and then Five Nights at Freddy's, the community just kind of got
Hmm.
real wild. But the way I got into that was when I first started streaming from the PlayStation camera on PC. The Five Nights at Freddy's game with Springtrap had actually just come out, so
Oh.
it was one of the first PC games I ever streamed, and I played it until we got like the 5th night, and I played the 6th night as well. Like you can unlock the night whatever, and so I spent a while streaming that game, and it was one of the first games I ever really streamed, which I think is part of is part of what made it special for me. Uh, and I'm really excited about the movie right now, which is why I think I've been going so hard into hyperfixation land.
Yeah, like wasn't one of them like a month ago or something like about like relations with Springtrap or some shit? And I'm like, okay, all right.
Listen, I, I like spring chop. Well, you know what it was? I was I was reading a Twitter thread that the algorithm blessed me with once again,
Thank you, Elon.
where somebody was trying
All
to
right, hold on a
cancel.
second. It's an Xing thread.
Oh yeah, X. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was reading a thread on X. Somebody was referencing like I don't know if this I think this was an old meme from the Five Nights at Freddy's community, but the concept of cancel Springtrap because he's the reason it all happened. Like without Springtrap there would be no Five Nights at Freddy's. Think of the imaginary dead children.
I don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, but that kind of template, if it goes viral, is just like it's gonna like get back to like 9/11, you know, in some way. You're like, can you imagine that if Springtrap didn't do this, fucking 9/11 wouldn't have happened or some shit like that? Like that's what it
Like
would like trace back to eventually.
there has to be a villain, or Five Nights at Freddy's doesn't exist. But if you try to cancel the villain of like, that's enough internet for today, homie. But Uh, that's why I started memeing about that for a little bit. I was just I just found that so funny. I couldn't stop giggling.
And see, I unlocked your memory about playing Five Nights because you're like, I don't remember what I started with. You're like, oh shit, I started with Five Nights at Freddy's. So that helped
It
unlock your
legit
memory.
that was one of the first things because remember everybody was saying, "Oh, play Five Nights at Freddy's, play Outlast, play because play what PewDiePie and Markiplier are playing."
Amnesia, all those.
Yeah, I've never played Amnesia, but I
That was the game back in JTV
that
days
was
for the horror stuff because it was like the only one. It's not great. Like it's okay. Like I think
it was
people
like the
overpraise it.
precursor
Yeah,
to
like
yeah.
it was solid enough back in the day, so it gets a little more,
Hmm.
you know, leash, but it was just okay. But everybody was playing that motherfucker back in the day. Everybody. Like you couldn't fucking escape that game. Oh, we're doing a horror stream? Oh, like Silent Hill or like Resident? No, it's Amnesia. All right, okay. Oh, thanks.
I think I think I avoided it just because it was everywhere. Like all the cool kids do, you know.
That's fine. Just avoid the cool stuff and Springtrap
No,
post on
just
X.
yeah, that's all I want. I just want a Springtrap post, bro.
What a statement. This is the first time I've ever said that string of words in a row. Hey man, just fucking I'm gonna Springtrap post on X. Like that's the first time those words have been said in that order in
That's
human
my motto.
history.
That's my new Twitter bio. F it, bro.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna Springtrap post on X.
Alright,
Oh,
I'll let
that's
you
the
have
motto.
it. I'll let you have it. You can,
Thank you. Thank
I,
you.
also,
I know you really wanted it.
I have never played a Five Nights at Freddy's, and I do not get the appeal of it. Like maybe the lore, like
That's
sure, I get the lore
fair.
is like probably like convoluted and silly,
You know what I
but the
like actually
games
about
themselves look so dumb to me, and I just don't
the one
care.
that I like the most, the one with Springtrap. I like it because it's almost not even really a jump scare if you've ever seen it. Like when he comes for you, he like comes in the office like, "Hey, bro, I'm here to kill you."
Oh,
like,
okay.
like after the first time he gets you, it's not even scary anymore. It just
He's just
becomes
like,
me versus Springtrap.
oh, he's
Like
like,
I need to win. You know
like
what
he's
I'm
just like
saying?
walking into the office, you know, like,
Uh
I
huh.
did my job.
That's yeah. Like once you've seen his jump scare one time, it really is the most like, hey guys, I'm Springtrap. like,
Like a
and then
YouTuber, like a YouTube
yeah,
intro popping in.
and he's the only animatronic that's actively killing you in that game as well. So it's just you versus Springtrap, and I think that's also the appeal, right? I need to beat Springtrap, but I think a lot of people don't feel that way. So
I'll be on your side. I don't know anything about it, so I'll be on your side. Better not,
thank you.
better not be wrong. I'm
It's
staking
one of
my
the
good
least
name on
popular.
this.
I'm pretty sure a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's fans feel about that one compared to the others. But thank you for
Listen,
being
if
here
I
with me.
base a person solely on if they like Five Nights at Freddy's or not, I'm in trouble. Like it's like my defining feature is Five Nights at Freddy's. Like and oh man,
Yeah.
find another game, please. There are so many other ones. I'm not
Uh
even
huh.
fucking dissing Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm just saying find another one. There's
But
more
that's
out
also
there.
the cool thing about gamers too, though, is even if we don't agree on Five Nights at Freddy's, we might agree on Pokemon or something else. You
I
know.
thought you were gonna say the gamer shirt for a second. The fringe one. I'm not a gamer because I have one life. I am a gamer because I have many lives.
I thought it was gamer. My wife left me. Sorry.
No, hang on. I speed ran divorce and
she
got the
took the
world.
slim, bro. She took the slim, bro.
Oh man.
Sorry.
So
Uh,
you're unhinged on Twitter. So let's reel it back in from
yeah,
unhinged.
you talked about yeah, that's what you set it all off.
Yeah. Yeah. So you just need to say Five Nights at Freddy's, and that's all it takes. It's like it's like
Spring
it,
trap.
it's like a spy being turned on, with a code word, like
Spring
like
trap.
like
That's my
they're
code word. I'm sorry.
you just say Springtrap and you're like, oh, you're in murder mode now. The spy is now active. Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne. All that shit. Like, oh
Uh
my
huh.
God, it's Springtrap, I guess.
Yep. Exactly.
So cosplay,
Yeah. My
the
favorite
quick,
hobby.
the biggest 180 from feral
Yeah.
energy on X. I can't call it X. I'm just calling it Twitter. I tried, Elon. You had it.
Same.
You got it twice. You got it twice out of me there.
Yeah, I don't know that I can do it.
I've just been on Twitter for I've been on Twitter since I was like 17 or like
It
16.
was
Like I've been on there
it
for
was
like
like
18
one of my
years.
first social media, to be honest.
Yeah,
And it's
hey,
my favorite social media, really.
yeah, I
I love
just
Twitter.
yeah, I like yelling into the void too. That's what I've done. It's like, if people see it, they see it. Fuck it. I guess I'm less crazy than just if I think all this in my head to myself, I don't know. Maybe it's that. Yes, here's this thought that's just in my head. I'll tweet it out
Yeah.
instead of just thinking about it and then smiling to myself later. That was a
Yeah.
good thought I had.
Well, and you know what it is too? I won't remember the thought. So if I put it out there for myself to laugh at later, if even one other person laughs, like as long as the thought is a net positive, right? As long as I'm not putting out thoughts that are toxic or
Yep.
words harmful, uh, and especially if it's something that's going to make me laugh later, that's a net positive, I think. I
Like,
don't even care
I
what
mean,
happens once certain
well, I
things
mean,
are out there.
that's what I'm saying. I agree with you to an extent. Like, well, if I tweet out this one thing and like two people like it, I love,
Yeah,
there you go, doing numbers,
yeah.
baby.
Oh
We
no, I
in
see what you're
there.
saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I thought you meant like, do I care if it does the number? But
Oh
no,
no,
like,
no, just the act of it getting fucking any likes,
yeah, it's
is
just
good enough. Yeah.
out of my head is all I ever want. Usually,
Just need it to leave my brain.
yeah, because usually it's either something I'm gonna forget in 5 minutes that I actually thought was worth something or it was funny, or it's something that's been like a brainworm that I just need it out into the world to go.
Either way, it's content, I guess. Fuck it.
Yeah, no
Either way, you can look back
content
and
on X, bro.
yeah, you can look back in 10 years and be like, oh man, remember when I was Springtrap posting and then just
Mhm.
that didn't sound like a happy. That sounded like a worryful.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that in 10 years, but
That's
yeah,
why I
I
don't
guess
have
I hadn't
a.
considered it.
That's why I don't have a quote bot in my channel. Cause there ain't no
I love
way.
the
There ain't
quote
no.
bot.
If y'all want to quote me over the years, I've been around long enough that clips have been around forever. If y'all wanted to, y'all could clip it. I ain't giving y'all it, you know, on hand. Ain't happening. I've said a lot of shit. And, all right, cosplay.
Uh,
No, I'm not. I'm not making you talk nowhere. I wanted to see what you would do. Like I saw you like nod. You're like cosplay, yes, and then just silence. So,
what is
yeah, yeah. The Wikipedia describes cosplay as. I even do that. So when did you first do cosplay, or when did you like? Doesn't even have to be serious. Just like whenever you first did it, or like what
I
was the
think
thing that made you dip your toes into it for the first time?
I think I started. I think it was around like 2009, maybe. I don't know. Like I remember I went to my first like big convention out
Hmm.
of state was Anime Expo in 2010.
Hmm.
Uh, but before that, I was going to local stuff. I think you know what it is. I had a friend that had started cosplaying, and I am the type of person where I'll finish a game or an anime and I can't let it go,
Hmm.
and I like to make things. So it was a supernatural progression for me to be like, oh, I want to make this sword because I like this game.
Hmm.
Why don't I cosplay? And it just kind of evolved from there.
So 2009. That's what, fucking 80 years ago, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. In internet time, absolutely. That was
Uh,
like 100 years. Yeah.
so you said your friend you went to a con, friend dressed up, kind of got the itch, from seeing it.
Yeah. And
So
like I had done it like silly homemade, like my mom took me to a couple cons when I was really young, and I would wear like a closet cosplay, isn't,
like what,
and
like the cardboard get up and you craft like a
not
cardboard into it and shit like
that's
that.
yes and no, or like you buy something from a thrift store that looks similar to what the
Oh,
character
okay.
wears.
Oh, okay.
Um, like that stuff. Because like back then you couldn't buy cosplay, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like it's become super easy to get cosplay stuff, but you couldn't even buy really good wigs back then. You just had like one website you could order from and Party City.
Well, then just the
So
Party City.
no, I'm not, because that's what we had, right? Like people would use that stuff and
Mm,
make it work.
yeah.
Cosplay was super about making it work and figuring it out, and cosplay.com was like the mecca of information. And it's just crazy to think about how much it's evolved. But when I started seriously getting into it and like crafting things and learning how to sew was probably like 2009, 2010.
So, friend got you into it. Super DIY back in the day. Makes
Yeah.
sense. Obviously, the internet was younger then, or less,
Yeah.
I think the nerds have only grown bigger as the internet's gone along, because like,
Right. I feel like we've realized there's more of us, you know what I mean?
and just
Like,
people are like just on. I think a lot of us have a little more disposable income growing up
that's
too. Because when you're like fucking 10 to 15, like you don't have disposable income to fucking cosplay unless your parents are like rich or some shit,
right.
But like
Yeah, no,
if you're on the internet
you just
back then, you're probably like what, 16 to 20 in 2009, somewhere around there. Not you specifically, just like people on the internet that are younger.
yeah.
And then all the other people are like 30 plus, like me now, fucking into me. But they aren't clued in because they didn't grow up nerds. They grew up hair bands in the 80s and shit like that, versus, anime
Yeah.
and shit like that from the late 90s that we're in. So, see, I'm just conditioned to be like, oh, somebody's doing cosplay. They probably like saw Jessica Nagiri at some point early on and like looked at her shit because she's been doing it fucking forever too.
I saw her when she cosplayed Lollipop Chainsaw,
Hmm.
because I really liked that game after it came out too, and I think that's around the time I started following her. She's super chill though.
Yeah, I
She's
feel
always
like
been nice.
I don't really follow cosplay stuff at all. Really, like I never had the desire to do like any cosplay or anything like that. So like I just assume she's the famous one, that everybody knows for cosplay. I'm sure there's like hundreds and thousands of other great cosplayers because every time there's a con anywhere, like Twitter is just flooded with
There's
great
there's
cosplay,
so much incredible talent in the cosplay community. Honestly, one of my favorite things about Twitter is how many cool just people and prop makers and creators Twitter puts in front of me that I otherwise might have never seen. Um, and just when you get to see people's build process or people's ideas in progress, it's just really inspiring. I don't know, it's a cool time to be a cosplayer.
So many.
Between 3D printing and
Oh yeah, I'm sure 3D printing has made it shit like little shit that like like an accent or something for a piece or like a chess piece or something that needs like a, I don't know, like a jewel or some shit.
right.
I don't fucking know. You just 3D print that instead of.
Well, because it's like I'm somebody that I think a lot in terms of shapes, and that's always been helpful in cosplay. And it used to be more like you would go out into the world and like shop around and try to find shapes that would suit your build if you modify them slightly. But
Mm,
now you can make or do anything from scratch. It's a
you
great
wouldn't have to go find like a rock or something and sand it down or some shit
right.
like
No,
it's
exactly. Like I'm not at the dollar store buying a helmet and sanding part of it off so that it looks more like this piece. I'm
yeah,
able to just
commission
3D print
this.
it if I want.
Yeah.
Or yeah, you could make you're only limited by your imagination and your funds at this point, or how much foam you have, because as everybody knows, foam can do anything, right? Foam's always been my favorite material.
So why is foam the end all be all for you in cosplay at least? Also,
I
tell
just
me
think it's
what foam entails in cosplay.
sure, well, at this point, it's cool because you can order like any size or like thickness, whatever. But there's nothing better than the old EVA foam floor mats, that people use for like their garage or a gym or something.
Oh, so you use so I guess you use the foam for
Yeah.
like padding, I guess, on the inside of stuff, or to like
No,
put the
no,
mold
you,
over. So see, yeah, I don't know, I'm uneducated about cosplay. You're
no,
gonna have
you
to.
make you can make literally anything out of it. Like a lot of times you'll see armor, you'll see people's big builds, and it's all foam. It's EVA foam.
Oh, okay.
Uh, and you cut it up, you can carve it, you can sand it, you can burn it, you can take a Dremel to it. Whatever you want to make out of it, you're only limited by gluing it together and carving it up.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's kind of like, super, super clothing almost.
Yeah, because like you can make armor out of it because once you take it and you seal it with like a plasti dip or something like that, then you can paint it and texture it, and nobody will ever know that that used to be a floor mat.
Foam. Yeah,
Yeah.
foam. Okay, okay.
Hmm.
So I think cosplay the last year or so also has started to blow up. I don't know if you've seen the show. You're a weeb though, so you've probably heard of it. I would assume it's the fucking My Dress Up Darling. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody's asked you about it or if you've seen it. See, I'm not into cosplay, and I don't hugely have time to watch anime unless it's One Piece lately, and even then I haven't watched One Piece in like three
I don't have a
months.
lot of time for watching anime either. I
But
feel
I
you.
was like, this is getting hype. Everybody's like, this fucking girl is like best waifu of the year or some shit, and the story's not actually that fucking terrible, like for a romantic comedy. I feel like romantic comedy and comedy in anime is very
Yeah, it's like a slice
hard to
of life.
do. It's very hard to do, and like what I went into like that's gonna be a rom com with a hot lead and be misunderstandings and shit. But they like go deep into the like not like the underbelly, but like the lore of how cosplay works and how this dude like you were saying like sews shit and makes shit and just goes like to 20 out of 10 to make these outfits for her. And then you see her wearing the outfit in whatever, connotation she's wearing it in. It's not just her walking around, posing. It's, oh man, it's like fucking 80 degrees or 90 degrees out. And I'm in this cosplay outfit and I'm gonna take pictures of people because that's what you do. Like mostly, I
Yeah.
would assume if you're going out, like you have somebody
Yeah.
taking, or at least somebody to take a picture of you at
Well,
some point,
you
probably.
hope.
Yeah, you'd like
Not,
you would
not
you.
always.
It's ideal though, that somebody's like
Yeah.
either is going to take your picture is like, oh
Right.
hey, you want to take a picture. Back to respectfully, of course, guys, respectful. Don't just fucking come up and start grabbing you weirdos. But yeah, it goes like deep into it, and it's not like this dude's just sewing. He's like taking measurements. He's like fucking playing these games she likes so that he gets the reference down perfectly of the
Right.
of the
Oh my god.
character. Yeah, like
The,
it's
the
like
most wild thing
yeah.
about a cosplay is like I one of my first cosplays I ever made, and then I remade it, so is Fran from Final Fantasy 12.
Mhm.
And honestly, I have a terrible memory. I'm pretty honest about that, but I could tell you every detail on Fran's armor because I've made it with my own two hands. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that
Like
that's yeah.
that's such a huge part of cosplay is getting the right reference images, even just like finding the right angle of every single piece so that you know what it looks like, and then figuring out, can this even exist in real life? How do I make this exist so that a person can wear it?
And then yeah, like if it can't exist, how can I make it exist?
Right.
So I would recommend it for somebody like you that's big in the cosplay.
I'll
Obviously,
have to check it out.
it's
Yeah.
it's only 12 episodes too right now, so you can
Oh
blast through
wow.
it in a couple. It's
Yeah.
just like a season one type thing. So I would like I don't know if I'd recommend it to everybody, because it's a slice of life romantic comedy about cosplay. Like it's very, it's like cosplay is a big thing, but it's also I think still very niche. Like I don't think like the average person's gonna be like, hell yeah, let's watch this dude, or something. But I guess
I
there's
think that's
titties
so
in
sweet
there, so
that
it's
he does that for her.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
watch it.
yeah. I would give it a watch. At least the first couple
Yeah.
episodes to see if you can get into it. So you said your favorite was Final Fantasy. Is that the
No, that
your
was like my
first? Oh, your
first.
first.
Yeah,
What is your
well, one of
favorite cosplay
them.
that you've done thus far? If you had to narrow it down.
So tough. I think probably Jacked from Final Fantasy X.
See, I don't know Final Fantasy, so this means nothing to me right
I
now.
cosplayed Titus's dad. I did a
Oh,
gender
okay.
bend of Titus's dad.
See, now we're going in rabbit holes. Now we're going into gender bent characters and let's
That is a
go.
rabbit hole.
So why is he or she I don't know how you've
Yeah.
cosplayed them in this particular scenario. Why is it your favorite and what you've done so far?
Uh, partially because, like you mentioned, a lot of cosplay is super uncomfortable, and this
Mm.
is incredibly comfortable. But also because I love Final Fantasy X, and my own dad helped me make my sword, so
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah. You got the
yeah,
the connection, the character connection, real life. I get it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's good shit. That's good shit.
it was nice, yeah.
So I'm
So I
about
think it's
to
just a fun memory.
I'm gonna test your brain knowledge. I'm gonna.
Okay.
So when you choose to make a cosplay or what you have chosen over the years to cosplay as, what's the rigid and strict criteria that like it has obviously it has to be a character you like I think I don't think
Yeah.
a lot of I'm sure there are cosplayers out there that's like I don't like this character but they're hot right now so I'll cosplay him. There's obviously people that do that. Like it's just too easy, especially with anime nowadays blowing up.
And
Like
now
just
you can just buy any cosplay, so it's like even if you have a whim, like, oh, this character's cute,
yeah.
you can just buy cosplay, right? It's so much more accessible and easy.
But for you, I assume it's more of a pick and choose thing. So rather
It
than
is, yeah.
more, oh, I see hot person, I cosplay hot person because it's like, a dime a
Yeah.
dozen.
A
So
lot
so
of a lot of times I'm usually kind of like whatever it is stuck in my brain and I really care about it. Or sometimes it used to be to determine if I was going to an event, I would try to think of what do I want to shoot in that area or in that space, or like what's a dream project of mine that would look cool if I took pictures here.
oh,
Uh,
so like maybe there's like a venue around like
yeah,
wherever the con is that you could like walk to or something. Be like, oh, I could do a picture, like I could do a
right.
shoot here. Okay, okay, okay.
Like, oh, this character that I really like would look cool at this con that I'm going to, or this character's just stuck in my brain and I want to be them for some reason.
Who was the most obsessed one that you've done so far? You're like, I just need to do it, and you did it.
Uh, it was probably Rengar.
Who's Rengar? You
I
gotta
don't know.
tell me. I'm ignorant. I'm
Oh, I'm
ignorant.
sorry. Rengar from League of Legends, the
Oh,
giant lion.
okay. I wish I didn't know it now.
Yeah. Knife cat.
Knife cat. So is that like your I did it on a whim one then? Is
It
that
was
like your one?
like something that burned in my brain for like a while, and I just kept saying, I want to make this. I want to make this. Someday I want to make. I just wanted to make his shoulder armor. He has like a really cool pauldron with big
Mm-hmm.
spikes on it,
Yep.
and I just really wanted to make that.
No other
But
characters had this. Fuck it, League of Legends character, I guess. But
yeah, like it was a really cool armor piece, and I like him as a character, and I just had to do it.
So you mentioned learning how to sew before all of this. Did you know how to sew, or did you have to teach yourself, or what's going on that when you have to
I
like sew stuff?
Yeah, I taught myself some hand sewing, and then I saw that like a local place had sewing lessons where you bring your own machine. And the thing that I was struggling with was I had a machine, but I couldn't figure out how to thread it.
Mm.
So I this sounded like the perfect thing. So I took this class, and the lady taught me how to thread my machine, and then I never stopped sewing.
So that's good. So when you're like making a like an outfit, how much of it do you want to be the foam stuff you're talking about? How much of it do you want to be cloth, or does it more, I guess, just kind of depend on the style of the character, I guess?
It definitely depends on the character and what I want to make at the time. Like there's definitely times where I'm like, oh, I want to sew something. I
Hmm.
really want to sew something. And then there's times like, oh, I want to craft something. So I usually will think about what to let myself work on based on what I'm interested in at the time, what I feel like doing.
So do you prefer the foam, or do you prefer like I assume the foam and sewing are probably two of the longer things putting a cosplay together. So which one do you more prefer doing, or do you just like both?
I like both. Yeah, it definitely just depends on what I honestly what I haven't done in a while is probably what I'm going to gravitate towards. Like right now, I've been working exclusively with foam for a couple months, so I'm excited to
To
something
not
eventually.
to not work with foam. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go about ordering stuff for cosplay, I assume like back in the you're not going to Party City anymore. Rest in peace, Party City. Sorry,
Sorry,
Party City.
party.
Yeah, sorry, Party City. Hashtag free Party City. Uh, is it the quality of something that you get more than the quantity? Because obviously you can tell when it's lower quality, but if you get like high quality stuff, you're definitely going to get less bang for your buck. Like how do you balance that sort of stuff? Do you do a midpoint where it's like, ah, it looks okay and I get a good amount of it, or do you go all out when you like say ordering like, I don't know, something to sew together? Like I would say like,
Yeah, like if you're picking a fabric.
yeah, I assume the fabric is probably the most expensive stuff
Yeah, fabric
usually.
usually
Yeah.
it'll be expensive. I was talking about this on stream the other day too, but I think a great thing to do is always to start at a thrift store
Hmm.
and see if you can find something to rip apart and use the fabric from. Like I made my sister a Riku from Final Fantasy X cosplay, and she has like a leather top.
Hmm.
So I got really lucky, and I was able to buy somebody's old leather jacket for like
Oh yeah.
20 bucks. So then you just rip it apart, and
Yeah.
it's panels of leather,
Hmm.
and you can sew those together into whatever. But failing that, when you're at the actual store, yeah, I feel like a lot of times fabric is the one thing where you have to think about the texture and what it looks like, and it can be harder to like if you start with cheap fabric, it might look like cheap fabric, but it really just depends
It
on
could look
what you can
fine.
find.
Like
Right.
it could
Exactly.
also fall apart too. Like
Yeah. And you should always wash your fabrics before you work with them for that exact reason, so that they'll fray as much as possible, and you'll get an idea of what they look like when they wash.
hmm. See that
Yeah.
cosplayers tricks of the trade. Waste water before you cosplay.
I mean, if you're doing laundry, you can throw it in with
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. That makes more sense than just bring it home straight from the store and throw
Washable
it in the
fabric.
wash. Take
Yeah.
it down to the old crick and beat it against the
Well,
washing
again,
board.
because I feel like a lot of cosplayers probably don't think about this because I know I wasn't thinking about this until very recently, but if you want to be able to rewear these costumes and reuse them or even sell them to somebody else, you definitely need to be able to wash them, right?
Hmm.
Especially if you're going to wear them to cons and
Yeah.
shoots and get sweaty.
Oh yeah. You don't.
So, uh, if you're going to build it to last,
Make sure you're
that also,
thorough. Yeah.
yeah,
So
that
what
also affects.
what is the quickest you've ever made a cosplay? Like you
Mm,
had it done quick. maybe you were feeling it. Maybe it was like an easy cosplay or something, you know. But what's the quickest you've ever gotten one done? And what's the one that took you the longest that you put the most work into?
I would say the quickest would be like a weekend. I definitely have had a couple projects that I've done over the course of a couple days of just grinding on it because an event was coming up and I had procrastinated, or just
Hmm.
because I had an idea
Right. And you just wanted to
that
get it
I was
out there.
excited. Yeah. But the longest was probably when I cosplayed Hakar from World of Warcraft. Uh,
I'll be throwing pictures of these people up. I'll find out
yeah,
I'll find out what they look like when I either find your cosplay of it or I look
Hakar
up a picture of who it is.
Hakar is an old school raid boss.
Mhm.
A friend of mine was doing a group for BlizzCon and asked if I wanted to be in it, and that was the last character that they needed for the group, and I was like, yeah, that sounds fun. So that's how that happened, and I just wasn't. She gave me a little bit of a design idea to work with, uh, but then I had to make this giant snake creature into a person.
Into a
and that
person.
and but it was really fun, and it's one of my favorite things I've made just because it's cool.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what is like you already told me your favorite one you made. So I assume I do you tend to like the ones you work on longer or do you just like everything that you've made? Like I assume
um,
if you put more work into it, it might be a little more relative to liking it more if it comes out well, you know? But
yeah,
it could
it's
also be
hard
the
to know.
same opposite, you know? It's like, oh, this looks good and I got it done in a day, so fucking hell yeah, you know? So it could be like
I
both sides of the
definitely
coin.
I have much more attachment to, like, the Rengar shoulder piece. I have it in my laundry room on a shelf, and I see it whenever I'm in there because I just like looking at it. So I definitely think there's a level of attachment to anything that I've worked on for a longer period of time, just because you spend so much time with it and you get excited to see it done, right?
Yeah, I don't know why I thought you've seen the I think it's Pablo Escobar, the meme of him staring at the pool. Have you seen that picture? That's what I imagined you saying that. Yeah, I got this armor piece in my laundry room, and I just go look at it sometimes.
No, I just mean like
Yeah,
when I'm
when
doing
you're doing
laundry.
like yeah, but like what I thought it was like you just standing like yeah, you know, you just walk in
No,
there and you stare at it like yeah, you know?
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, I see it.
So
I need to
do
commission someone to draw that.
so do you how often do you reuse stuff if ever in between projects or do you just like some pieces like you're talking about the armor piece there you just put up somewhere and you store the
I
rest or you sell the
try.
rest or how does that work with you personally?
I've recently started trying to sell more things on what is it, Depop or whatever, because I think it's really cool to be able to give things a second life. But if I have a use for something, or if I can recycle something into what I'm doing now, or if sometimes I'll start projects and never finish them. Like pieces of that Hakar cosplay were actually pieces of a Sylvanas cosplay I had started just because I saw a cinematic and I was like, oh, I want to make this. And then 10 minutes later, like the hype burns out
Yeah.
because it wasn't something that I was really feeling.
Mm.
But because I made a different World of Warcraft cosplay, you can recycle that into that.
Yeah, because it's
I
the
guess
same
that's
style. So yeah.
right. So anytime I can recycle, I definitely do because I just like to make things.
Do you recommend if somebody was getting in the cosplay buying used or
Oh yeah, no.
trying to do it yourself or does it just
It's
depend on the
actually
person, I guess?
there's actually this really nice symmetry because one of the first cosplays that I ever had I bought from a girl on cosplay.com, and it was her songstress Yuna, and I looked at it and fixed it up and sewed it and uh, made it better, and I recently remade that cosplay, shot it, and then sold it on my Depop to someone, and I just I don't know, I think that's really nice
Yeah.
because these things get to keep evolving and growing, and like you get to learn from another cosplayer too, because seeing the way that girl originally made that costume 100% influenced the way I made it now, like a
Hmm.
million years later.
Or that like
So
you get it and you like see, oh, this person did the foam this way, or this person
right,
stitched this way, or something
you
like
get new
that.
ideas.
Yeah.
That was also the coolest thing about like if you're a roommate with other cosplayers at a con, is like seeing, oh, how does her armor attach, or what is her process for doing her makeup or wearing wigs. You can learn so much, and it just makes you a better cosplayer as you continue.
I'm gonna blow your mind right now. Do you think that you got into VTubing because it's almost like you're cosplaying but on screen?
Yeah, maybe.
You're actually thinking about this, aren't you?
I'm considering it. I hadn't.
Because
I,
you're essentially you've created a you didn't like create it with your hands, but you've created a character and you're portraying that character even if to varying degrees, and it's you but it's not you.
yeah. No, I think it's definitely probably a comfort zone for me because of cosplay. I would think, yeah.
This is gonna hate you later, isn't it?
Maybe.
if
It's, oh,
you
it's
if
food for
you
thought.
if you remember it.
Yeah, yeah. That's the real trick. What will I remember?
Is there anything I see? I don't know about cosplay. Is there like any glaring things that I haven't touched on that like goes on in cosplay? Like I think I just did very surface level, like how shit does, how do shit, how do this. But like, is there
Yeah,
like any other thing that I may have missed that like is an
you know what
interesting
it
thing to
is?
talk about?
I feel like it's just such a weird hobby because you're taking something that doesn't exist and making it exist and making it wearable, even if it wasn't necessarily meant to exist or be wearable. And you're also trying to make it in such a way that it's comfortable to wear. And it's just this amazing impossibility of engineering and human
Human ingenuity.
effort. Yeah. Like, and
So you're saying you like to play God,
there's
essentially,
no, I'm just
creating
saying
something from nothing.
I think it's a really fun exercise, and I think because there's no right answer, uh, it's just fun to see how other people are doing it, and it's fun to keep doing it and keep discovering new ways to do it.
So circling back to comfort, percentage-wise, above or under 50%, how many of your cosplays that you've done have been comfortable versus uncomfortable? If you had
Mm,
to guess, like I assume,
maybe,
obviously, like you said, you said I assume most cosplayers try to make everything as comfortable as possible, but I also
right.
assume with some things it's just not gonna happen. You know, it's just not gonna
Yeah,
be
no,
comfy. You know.
I feel like maybe 10%, and I'm trying not to be too harsh with the number, but I can't think of many times that cosplay feels comfortable. even even just wearing a wig, you know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
because
Like
you
the
gotta tie your like I have long hair, so I understand like I've never worn a wig, but I understand tying your hair back. And when you tie your hair back for a wig, that fucker gets tight. You gotta jam that shit in there, and it fucking hurts. Okay, it might not hurt, but it's definitely not comfortable. I mean, maybe if you fuck
right.
up and do it too tight, it'll hurt. But like it's definitely not comfortable to have your hair like my hair is down right now, but when I'm at work, I have it in a ponytail. But if I
Yeah.
put the ponytail too high, I ain't doing it. It bothers me, so I got to re-put it on at work. Like,
Right.
so I can't even imagine like going tighter than that for like a wig, and then
And it's
having the
like you have to
wig on top of it for an extended period of time.
yeah, like the heat level of that. Like if it's 70 degrees, you're already feeling like it's 80 because there's no heat escaping your head. You are trapped in the wig.
And that also doesn't even like account for the rest of the outfit either. That might not have
Right.
like especially I assume if it's armor, I would assume
Yeah.
armor is
Your movement
probably. Yeah, it's
Your movement will
encumbered.
be limited even in the best armor because
It's armor.
it's armor. Yeah.
Yeah, it's armor. Like fucking, you're not looking at like a Dark Souls fucking guy. And you're like,
Right.
look at that guy's movement. He's got range, like you're not looking at like, the Crusades and being like, man, look how nimble they are.
Right.
Because they're in like fucking 90, 100 pound suits of armor. Like
Yeah.
you're not moving in that shit, and it's hot, and you have chainmail on too under the armor.
Exactly.
Were they the first cosplayers?
I think so.
The Crusaders were the first.
Oh man, that's the one that's gonna stick in my brain later. To be
Oh,
honest,
the Crusaders
were,
pioneered
were
cosplay.
the were the Crusaders the
Dude,
pioneers of?
dude, that's such a fucking like clickbait title. Like, we're the Crusaders in all caps, the first cosplayers, and then like a question mark and exclamation point.
Kotaku article.
No, 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 they would probably do that. God damn Kotaku! Don't get me started on Kotaku. Having a nice conversation about cosplay, and you bring up Kotaku.
Oh, they're a part of it.
Cosplay?
Every cosplayer remembers the first time they got on Kotaku, right?
Wait, were you on Kotaku then?
I think I've been on there a couple times. Yeah, I know I was there. I was in an Evolution bunny suit group that was really fun, and I think that was on Kotaku.
That makes sense. They're
Yeah.
even back then they were awful at journalism. What, man? Ain't nobody gonna be like, oh man, FJ dogging on Kotaku. It's like, it's fucking
Listen,
Kotaku, and
listen.
nowadays it's even
They
fucking
they
worse.
put my butt in a bunny suit on their website. I can't.
You
What am
can
I
do
supposed to
that
say?
for free on X.
I do no. My Twitter is not a safe place for me.
That's not a safe place for spring trapping.
Yeah, same.
Can't be down bad for Springtrap on my show. Stop
I'm
it.
sorry. The movie's coming. I'm really
Is
hoping
he,
once the movie
is
comes
he even
out.
in it? I don't know anything about the.
Yes, no, he is. He's gonna be the main villain.
Oh,
Is my guess based on the trailer.
so people already hate it then because nobody likes Springtrap or whatever, right?
It never would have happened without him. No spring trap, no dead children.
No 9/11. That's the Springtrap timeline. No Springtrap, no dead kids. New York is saved. But thank you for being on, Vanity. Do you have
Of course.
well, I try to. I don't have a plan for ever ending these things, but I always say whatever you want to say right now. Shout yourself out. Give some advice. I don't know. Just take whatever time you want to say something right now. Go for it.
I am a friendly but forgetful fox girl. I think everybody should read the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And if you ever want to hang out and goof off and play some Pokemon, I'm on Twitch a lot.
You didn't have to read it like I was like holding a gun to your head. It was like, hello,
I'm not
I am Vanity Fox. I am forgetful. Do I need to keep
nervous.
going? Yes, shakes the gun at you,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Pokemon on Twitch.
Blink twice. Blink twice. If you.
But yeah, thank you for being on, Vanity.
Thank you, Jay.
And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And to anybody watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your day too.
Same.